How you doing? How you doing? What is up? Who is down with the live nights tonight? How you doing? Am I coming in clear? Should I turn it up a little bit more? Peace and love to all the beautiful mini gods and goddesses out there. Do your shining bright thing wherever you are, whatever you're doing in life. Do not ever compare yourself because you're not here to do that. Peace and love. Love Our Body Company. Check them out. Love Our Body Co. They have some awesome beard oil. Oh man, so many products. Check them out. Check them out. Guys, it's that kind of a night where we take some time to synchronize our watches and to help each other remember to stay focused, to stay on track. Whatever you're doing in life, whatever you're doing, I love and I implore greatness out of you. And I just use a strong word. Implore. You know, that word, what does that word denote? It denotes a big time shit. And then this is why I have the internet pulled up, right? Let's hope it doesn't interact with my little feet here. But grab your water. This is story time part 2. And today we're going to talk about the scars, part 2, right? The scars on my arms. So we're going to say a very important trigger warning. If there's young children in the room, you might want to put on a Bluetooth or something like that. I'm not going to tell too many crazy details, but I surely am going to talk about attempted taking yourself out. Ooh, yeah, right. I think that you didn't think that I was going to go there, but I am. So why guys? Because listen to this. If I can share my story, I look back, don't feel sorry for me. I get mental health help all the time. I have a therapist now. I do not do and practice such things anymore because I honor and respect myself so much more than disrespecting myself and putting scars on my body. You know, it's kind of like, you know, you're going through a very manic or depressive episode and you're not fully understanding that a mental health issue has developed. You're not too sure. Not only can you hide your mental health issues by drinking lots and lots of alcohol, by smoking, getting super high, using any other variable of drugs out there. I mean, the list goes on and on of Schedule 1 drugs, things that get you out of your element and into feeling serious dopamine, serious serotonin, and that's what you want, right? So that's why people do drugs. That's why people do alcohol, because they want to feel good. There are those people that are very allergic to it, right? But pull up your drinks, guys. I'm always drinking something, right? Because hydration is super important. But today's going to be short and sweet, and I appreciate your presence. I pray that you're lifted always when we come together. Because that is one of my life purposes. So cheers to the ancestors. Cheers to you for showing up for yourself. You're not just here for me, you know, and I don't just mean this little episode kind of thing. I mean this world. However, it's very important that you realize that we're here for each other, you know, and I say that with purpose. Like if I was not able to help the community in what I have done for the longest time in my adult life, I would not be a happy person. So cheers to everybody living their dream or learning new dreams. All right, guys. So let's talk about it. Let's go there. All right. So I guess I'm going to give you the basic rundown, right? We talked about the part 1. If you haven't checked that out, you can check that out. You can fast forward. Just remember to like it. No, yeah, go ahead and do that. What I'm saying is that the scars of all my arms, consists of my arms, because when I was, because I have to talk about it. I have to talk about it. I'm being pushed and pushed to talk about it, even though it's very embarrassing. I've went as far as covering most of my scars. Like, you can't see anything on this arm. You can see a little bit on this side, which I know the camera is not able to see that well, but if you're in my presence, you can actually see them. It's not that it's embarrassing. It's more like sometimes I have to be very real with myself, and I say, damn, I don't think I've forgiven myself for putting myself through that. So let's say if you're thinking about, if there's ever a suicidal thought in your head, and I don't mean to trigger anybody, I'm sorry. If there's any negative things like that in your head, you have to know that there's lying ass mental health diseases out there. There's lying ass spirit demons, kind of. I see it as a parasite. Having have dealt with it in my greater adult life, you know, you definitely can understand that you're confused. It makes you very confused, no matter what, because it sounds like you saying you don't want to be here anymore. You know, it sounds like you, but you know, it's not you. I now believe it's a mix of like spiritual and like mental health issues. And of course, like the doctors have explained to me, you know, where these issues come from and stuff like that. If you're depressed and you want to take yourself out and stuff like that, don't listen to that stuff. You know what I mean? There's serious help. That's never. I'm gonna sound like everybody else, but it's never the answer. And things always get better. I'm telling you right now. When I did that stuff, it was maybe 20 years ago, maybe 15, 20 years ago. I'm gonna say 20 because it's probably been 20. No, if I'm accurate, perhaps it's been like 18 or something like that. Okay, so the fascination with wanting to not be here started to creep in my brain. It sounded like me. Now I disown those thoughts, you know, and I do my best to clear and transmute them. And I go through my work. I'm like, girl, have you been going through your worthiness challenge? Have you been doing worthy? Have you been doing I am worthy affirmations? And sometimes the answer is no. And so that's why those stupid thoughts come in. Again, if you're going through that stuff right now, I pray that the Holy Spirit puts its hands on you and totally absolves those and eradicates those thoughts and those energies. Okay, so what I looked up right now was the word implore. So implore is to beg someone earnestly or desperately to do something, right? Your greatness. Earlier I was imploring your greatness, and whatever that means, because I'm telling you right now, people, I've seen people do so many things at the very same time as like raising a family. It's very impressive for everyone that's doing school and like or has done it, you know, with school and family, children and stuff like that. I understand it can be very, you know, very crazy, very hectic, but overall, I'm very impressed. I'm impressed by what I'm seeing out there, right? So let's talk about some of the scar stories, and then let's move on, because that's just going to be another episode. And so this is kind of like a PSA for me. You know, don't, if you're hearing those thoughts and things like that, and negative energies that are asking you or telling you to hurt yourself or others, especially, do not listen to them. And I would say I'm going to put in a number for like a help hotline. And be careful who you call, because sometimes they're not very pro your you. I'm gonna be perfectly honest right now. Like, I hope that you don't feel bad when I tell you this story. Never feel bad when I tell you stories. Never feel bad. But there was a time where I was going through, you know, a lot of depression, right? And so I wanted to call like a crisis line. And I remember calling like one of the first crisis lines that I saw on the Google search or whatever it was that I was using at the time. When I called the first line, this person said something. It was a lady. She said, Unless it was a dude that sounded like a lady. I don't know. But, so this person says, like, we don't agree with your life. We don't agree with your lifestyle. This is not the number to call. That's what she fucking told me. I'm sorry to cuss. But it's still, to this day, I'm like, girl was calling for help. You know what I mean? Like, girl over here has been where she's been. And that's why we're talking about this story tonight. So that if you're ever under, you know, if you're ever under stress from your own thoughts, you know, from outside sources telling you, take yourself off the planet, never listen to that. You know, never have the courage to not react the way they want you to react. They want you to, to them, you're Godzilla. Now I see it now. I'm like, okay, you're Godzilla. We're Godzilla. They wanted us to take us out. Whoever is going through things like that, that's how I see it. And any other way, as far as not to take, like, let's say you eat a cheeseburger every day, like Tammy, 600-pound, probably 400-pound lady right now. No offense, but that lady keeps me in the gym. And what I'm saying is that I'm not trying to make fun, guys. You know, I also struggle with my weight. I have to, you know, if I sit down, I have to move. That's what I'm saying. I have to move. Otherwise, I'd be 600-pound woman if I didn't do nothing for the rest of my life. You know, that's just, I mean, we can call it like it is. That's how she got herself there, right? So, but that's not the point. We're not talking about Tammy. I'm just saying, like, she's motivation because she eats like a cheeseburger every day. And I remember one of her resolutions is, I know it's not funny, was only eating one cheeseburger a day. One cheeseburger a day. Okay, so don't be a Tammy. Do be a Tammy who she is now, and she's in the weight loss program process. And I'm not saying it's not cool to be you, and maybe, you know, if you're in the obese or heavyweight category. I'm not saying you're not perfect who you are. I'm saying that there's better goals, there's better days ahead. If you treat your heart better, the better things will be on earth. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you right now, if I think it's true for anybody, guys. If you stop moving for a certain amount of time, you're probably gaining a lot of weight. And that's how those people get there. But we're talking about the scars tonight. And I digress, and that's just how it is, okay? And what I want to remind you is that some mental illnesses don't develop until your late teens, early adulthood. And that sucks, right? So, you know, just remember that that shit is Looney Tunes. It is Looney Tunes. It's Delulu, however we say it these days. You know, don't believe that. You know, because anything that's not there to hype you up, don't believe that shit. Just don't. Make a resolution. I'm just saying that's how I stopped. I was like, oh gosh, I have this like little tape recorder in my head that like doesn't like me. Like I didn't like me, right? I didn't like the world. I didn't want to, and we're talking. I have to talk about my situation because that's all I can share. So I'm in a situation where when I did these scars on my arms, I was in situations where I wasn't sure how to get out. Right? And for anybody who's remained my friend through those periods, because I did this stuff in my early 20s. I hope you never think that hurting yourself or others is going to solve the problem, because it never solved any of mine. Right? So I remember it was the gay thing. It was, I'm bi, but mostly gay. Right? For TMI, right? But we got to go there, right? That was one of the issues in my life. Me not accepting myself as an LGBTQ person. Could you believe that? Some of us actually don't even accept ourselves. Sometimes we're not accepted. Sometimes we're very accepted. And I appreciate the people that accept me for whoever I am. And sexuality really has nothing to do with our friendship or relationship. right? Unless it does, but that's only, I'm married, no applications. No, but I'm saying, it's a joke, guys. What I'm saying is that when I did these scars on my arms, I was going through such a rough patch. I remember one time, and I'm gonna tell you where the self, stuff started. The self-hurting started, I'm gonna call it. And it was really just cries out for help. It was cries out for help because I didn't know how to get therapy. It was kind of shameful back in the day. For me, anyways, it took me until I was about 29 or so where I got my first therapist. And from there, I've been struggling. And I thought to myself, feeling anything else other than what I was feeling was a good thing. Right? So, those are scars. I'm not going to be able to take them off. I can cover them up with the tattoos perfectly fine. But they're not going to be gone. The wisdom that I learned from doing that stuff, from surviving, how do I say it? Wanting to take yourself out. Because I guess if you say certain things don't happen. You don't get put on algorithms, guys. That's what happens. We're talking about the scars, part 2, and the scars on my arms because mental health kind of really was non-existent. The lack of mental capacity wasn't there. I couldn't deal with the relationship I was in. It was very dark. It was super dark. I was going through domestic abuse. Back and forth. You know what I mean? I don't joke about it, but I say I've been the perpetrator and I've been the victim. But we're stronger. We're stronger than yesterday because of that. But I share my scar stories so that you remember that taking yourself out, this is not an option. I think I attempted many times. Do not attempt. If there's a prayer I could say for you, if you're going through some sort of mental health issues, I pray that they're gone. And like Ganesh shows up and destroys all those obstacles in the way of you having a positive mindset. There's nothing wrong with that shit. Who's going to be mad if you're happy? You just thought about them? That's a lie. Your brain tries to set you up. Don't change because this. Don't change because that. Don't change because this. No, change. Change, because change is the only thing we have. Okay, so in my early 20s, I'm doing all that. I finally see a therapist. I think I was 22 or so. See, you don't have to be a teenager to go through this stuff. And I remember seeing, this is what I was going to share earlier and then I digressed. I remember seeing I don't even want to say it. I remember seeing, you guys remember that show? It's about those people that are really addicted to stuff. Oh, why is it bugging my mind? It's not even coming across. Does anybody remember? It's like a show. They have these addiction problems, substance abuse. The point is, one girl was cutting herself. And like I said, I don't know if I said trigger warning, but one girl was doing that so crazy much. I swear, watching that episode, I was like, that's probably a good idea. I swear, I was like, yeah. Some people look at this dumb shit and it's like, yeah. And I was that person that got hypnotized into thinking that hurting herself was a way to cope with things. I don't know. I'm not I was that dumb in my early 20s. Thank God I survived all of my 20s because I was kind of dumb. I'm not saying I'm not intelligent. I just was very gullible and all that shit, Who isn't gullible for a minute when they're young? But the point is that if I had gotten help for myself any earlier, that would have been way better in life. That would have been way better. I wouldn't have these scars, obviously, as many, maybe just have 1 or 2 or 3. But, cause this shit lasted for years, you know what I mean? Before I got any help. And, so don't be afraid of getting that help. I feel like it's so important to see my therapist all the time, but I'm also I also journal every day. Every day I make sure that I write for 15 minutes. Sometimes I can't fill like 3 pages. If I longhand write, I can fill three pages, no problem. But if I'm typing it out, 3 pages is kind of a lot. And so, I don't know. I guess I just should do it all on the computer because it's more, right? You let more out of your brain. And I got that idea from The Artist Way. And basically, all you have to do is, journal every morning. They're called morning pages, but I got used to calling them like afternoon pages and stuff like that. I don't know how detailed and gory you want the situation to be, because when someone cuts themselves, there's obviously blood. I don't know how like Instagram feels about me saying blood. This is obviously beetroot juice and dragon fruit powder and chia seeds. Guys, I'm not healthy all the super time, but I just, there's certain things that I like, so I eat them. So now, I treat myself better. I work out. I try to work out like every day. Sometimes I slack off for like a day or two, give myself like a 2-day break, and then I go back at it for the next 5. But I guess, I see a much healthier me. I'm more consistent, more focused when I work out. So I actually just like to work out every day. I don't keep tabs on it. And like I said, if I feel exhausted, if I feel burned out, I take a break. I take the day of the break and I might just stretch. That's all I do. And yoga is fantastic for all that mental health. And those people that can't meditate, start with yoga. And with one, you're gonna like hit 2 birds with 1 stone, because it's exercise and it's meditation put into one. So, I'm thinking like, should I share any serious, crazy, detailed stories? Because I have a very short time frame with you right now. I have to go. I have to make dinner. Right? So in lieu of getting into all the gory, nasty details, just to let you know, when you have mental health problems, alcohol doesn't help. At this time, when I was self-harming, I had a very serious drinking problem, and I didn't see it as a problem. Obviously, I saw it. I was like, "Dang, I'm an alcoholic" immediately, and right, it's gonna be 8 years in February. So that's gonna be important, right? Lots of cool ass shit happening between then and here and now. So basically, because I don't want to go into the super details and give you any ideas. You know what I mean? But I'm talking about the scars. So I'm like, what can I say? I remember right underneath this side right here. If you check this out, it's actually a deer. It's a deer. It's a stag from the caves of France. Some cave person drew it long ago and put, and now they have pictures of it, which I saw, and I was like, wow, I want that as a tattoo, and there it is. But underneath his big antler lies a serious, deep ass scar. I thought I was gonna die from it. So the story goes that, and this is gonna be quick because we gotta end out and we're done because I only got so much time. So I love you so much. Thanks for joining. You're the best. Whenever you catch this will be the best time for you to do whatever it is that you ought to do, right? Because there's things that we should be doing, could be doing, would be doing, right? If we just get to doing it, it'll get done. So, I'm just trying to encourage your safety here. So, the story of that big scar, let me finish because it's a story time, right? And so if I didn't tell a story, it wouldn't be story time. So the story of the big scar is one time I got incredibly drunk. Yep. This is why I told you to put on Bluetooth. All right. So I know it's not crazy. I'm not being crazy tonight, but I kind of am. right? So what I'm talking about is crazy. And get so drunk, I get to my house. I remember already being in some sort of a state, very negative. At that point, I was already, self-harming, and I was just they were just so small. They would just, heal up in the next few days and I'd be fine. Not this time. I was so enraged and drunk and stupefied, and I want that ideation of self-harming, was there. I think I took a knife or something, and because the memory is a little hazy, I honestly can still see myself there. I still see it, and I apologize to that young lady, but it's something I did. As you can see, I'm still tied in emotions about it because I can't believe I did that to myself. So anyways, I got home and I did that, and I got the knife and I ran into the bathroom. I think I wanted to pick a fight with everybody in the house. I think this is how it went. I'm not 100 because I was very, very drunk. So I get into the bathroom and I just start. I remember this, between you and me. The truth is, when I got into the bathroom, all I did was cry. I cried and I wailed. Just because of my circumstances. My circumstances weren't good. I wasn't sure how to get out. I could say a lot of other things about things that were going on, but, it all made me react that way. I reacted in a very negative way. So I'm crying, I'm wailing. At the same time, I'm self-harming. And then I give myself the biggest gashing cut I could have ever given myself. I saw fat. I didn't see bone or anything. But, I saw fat. It was at least, it's at least 4 inches long. So, and my relatives, who are nurses, they always, when they used to see it, when everybody found out about the story, I couldn't hide the scar. Right. And, people give you life-saving advice or things that make you think thrice about the things that you did, like if I had cut a little bit here, more left, it would have gotten a certain artery and I could have really bled to death, which was my intention, right? Because those self-harming thoughts or ideations, I let them get a hold of me, and that wasn't cool. It wasn't fun. I was hurt. I hurt myself, right? And I know it's a little touchy and everything like that, and and I'm saying this because there's other and better ways. Had I had a punching bag that night, if I had a punching bag in the back of my yard like I have today, people laugh at me when I say I have a gym at my house. But I do. I have so much shit. I consider it a gym. And if I had a punching bag in my backyard, perhaps that night, perhaps I would have taken it out on the punching bag. But I took it out on myself. Okay. So here I am as a person removed, so much removed. I mean, I was like 22 years old when that happened. And I got lost for a while. I got lost in the self-hate. I got lost in the bullshit. I got lost in the addiction, And it could have been way worse. My drug of choice was alcohol, And of course, alcohol makes you take all the drugs. I mean, if I'm going to be real, you know what I'm saying? That's a gateway drug. If you're going to tell me, if we're actually going to talk about gateway drugs, that's the gateway drug. So I commend you if you don't drink. More power to you if you don't drink. If you do drink responsibly. Why? Because you don't want to end up a silly Billy goat like me with, having to do a tattoo. I mean, now it looks kind of cute. It's cute. But, the truth is that I had to pay money for that. And then now I'm gonna have to pay money for the scar covering on this side. I heard there's some tattoo artists that do it for free. I don't know them. This is something I'm gonna have to deal with for the rest of my life, right? It's not bad enough that I'm Scarface. It's not bad enough. So anyways, guys, that's my story. I mean, what else did you want? I mean, let me finish the story. I said that's my story and I wasn't even done because we almost done. Thank you for sharing space with me. Have a more healing journey. So basically I came out of the room, laid down to bed after cutting myself very, very bad. self-harm. You know, I'm sorry. I'm hitting all the algorithms, all the things I shouldn't be saying. I'm saying them, I guess. I lay down in bed and I thought I was going to die, right? This is what I think that I can only, guys, I needed help, you know? And, so I'm laying there, and then I woke up the next morning. I was still bleeding from the cut because it was actually big. I remember I think I just put like a towel over it or something like that and lay down. But when I woke up, it was, you know how blood gets all crusty, so you move it and like whoosh, you see this big old open gashing wound. I asked somebody to take me to the hospital. They gave me like 15 stitches or something like that. I don't know. There's a running number with the stitches being in the teen years on my body. But you're going to enjoy part 3 because I have another scar story. Like, how many scars does this lady have? First of all, I'm an ex. I'm kidding, guys. I really am that aggressive. So watch out. But it's all a joke. Like, I do a lot of things, I do it as a joke. Sometimes I am aggressive and you just have to take it like a wolf. I'm like, guys, I mean, admit it, you're either the alpha or the beta, or you're somewhere in between, and this is not a competition. This is just how sometimes we lean. I lean this way, you lean that way. You might be a follower. I'm a leader. Maybe you're a leader too. Maybe I follow you sometimes in your great steps. I see, you know, even the young folks, I am very admired. Sometimes they give me advice. The young people give me advice, and I take it. I'm like, oh, young one, that's smart. You know, what else you got, right? Everybody have a good night. Stay positive, stay motivated throughout your day, throughout your week. Today is not a day of the blues. Today is the day of the moon. You hear that? It's the day to connect to your feminine side. Connect to your feminine side. I know I sound like I'm rhyming because I gotta go. I'm speaking 10,000 words a minute because I got shit to do. And it's been fun chatting with you. Thank you for hearing this other story. Remember that creativity leads to spirituality, as spirituality leads to creativity. From the Artist Way by Julia Cameron. That's one of my favorite books that I'm going to share with you tonight. With that, I'm gonna say just a tiny little prayer, if it's okay with you. We're just gonna end on a tiny little cute little prayer, just a tiny cute little one. So, dear Mother and Father Creator, great creator of all goodness, great creator of grand things, of all things, thank you for being here with us now. Thank you for this time. Thank you for the devotion you put into making sure that we have a perfect planet. Thank you for our perfect planet. Thank you for the great air that we breathe. Thank you for our lives. Thank you for our family and our friends. Thank you for the lack of. Thank you for the great wealth. We're so grateful to implore greatness out of ourselves as we call it forth from you, because you are our ultimate peace, our ultimate divine. And as we're going and we're seeing the struggles of our brothers and our sisters everywhere in the world, we're praying for everyone in the world. All we want is serenity. All we want is the true meaning of peace, which is a word we've yet to define. In each other, we have yet to see it, but we know if we bring heaven to earth through you, all things can be done in a better light, in a better way. So with that, we pray that the war in our hearts stops, so that the war on the earth can end indefinitely. I think we deserve it as a whole family. So we're so grateful for the viewers. We're grateful for everyone that will watch, and we bless them. We bless their night. We bless their day. We richly bless all their goals, their dreams, their aspirations. God, if they've got none, give them a few. And we thank you so much for this life that you've given us. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. And so we pray. Ashe. Okay, we're done. All right, guys, that was a weird angle. I ended up in a weird angle today. It was not my best look. It doesn't matter, guys. Tomorrow will be another one. Tomorrow will be another day. You've been beautiful. Have yourself a beautiful night. Love you. How you doing? How you doing? What is it?